Hi, I'm Amanda from Life Unravelled, where we unravel life's little mysteries. Today we're looking at social skills and all the different things that we need to be able to teach our children so that they can navigate that social scene. It's really tricky for these little ones to understand what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. So we really need to guide them and help them cope with those frustrations that are happening. Now let's look at how our children interact with others. It's really wonderful to watch them playing games, and this is a great time to introduce them to board games. But in order to introduce them to board games, we need them to be able to take turns. And I think out of this whole year, this is the hardest thing to teach a child. Other children find it really, really tricky. I know one of my children, we used to play lots and lots of board games because she hated winning and she hated losing. She loved the games, but she really hated the actual end, what happens at the very end. She didn't like it when other people beat her, but she felt that she had hurt other people by beating them. And she was really torn with that. And that took a long time for her to understand that it's just part of the game. It's playing the game and it's just having a bit of fun, and it doesn't really matter who wins and who loses. And that took a long time for her to understand that. And I think for 4-year-olds it can take a long time. But even if they throw the board games all over the place and they have big tantrums, once they've finished the tantrum, it's important to talk to them about taking turns and about allowing other people to have a go and for everyone to have fun. Now, the other thing that I found is that if other people cheat, it's really hard for some children, especially 4-year-olds, to understand why they would cheat, because in their eyes they would never ever cheat. So for them to watch someone else cheat and then the frustration of the other people winning, but they've cheated, but they've done the wrong thing, but they've still won, and it's just not fair. And I can understand that, and it's really, really tricky for them. But it's important that we teach them that it's not good to cheat, that you should never cheat. But if you see someone cheating, you don't just throw everything up and get really frustrated. But here are some ways that we can cope with other people cheating. So those taking turns and learning how to deal with board games is a great skill. It also helps with team building. So it helps children work as a team, and especially when they come to school, they need collaboration. They need to be able to work together. And sometimes playing board games is about working together. So if you can teach that before they get to school, that will give them a huge head start over other children who really can't cope with the frustration of taking turns and playing games. The other thing too is that it's a great family activity for everyone to do things together and to play games together. Relationships are really built on common experiences. So the more common experiences you can have with your children, especially in these early years, that builds up the relationship so that when they want to run off and do their own thing when they're in their teens, you've still got this whole bank of common when everything else is going pear-shaped. It's also something that they get used to doing, and so they'll enjoy doing it with you. We play lots of board games in our house, and especially when we go away. We don't have any electronics when we go camping, and we always make sure that we take lots of cards and board games, and we play so many games together on our holidays, and the kids just love it. It takes up time, but it's that social interaction that happens that's the most important part. of the games. Another really important interaction that children need to learn is being able to clean up after themselves. At this age, cleaning up after themselves seems really tricky and takes a long time to do. But it's well worth teaching them at this age that that's something that's really important. It's so much easier for us to clean up after them. It takes no time at all. It takes them a long time to do it. But make it part of the play and part of the game. If you can get them to put things away in the spots that they're supposed to be in, and have a system that is easy for them to put away their toys, especially before they go to bed and before they go to sleep, it makes your life a lot easier, and it also teaches them life skills, because eventually they're going to move out, they're going to have their own house, and they need to know those skills and learn those skills about being tidy, because a tidy and clean house is a healthy house, and it makes you feel a lot better. Now, I'm not saying have no toys around, because that's not what I mean. What I mean is to have a big box and you put all the toys in the box, or you have a corner and you have a set of shelves and the kids just put the toys on the shelf, so they're not laying around all over the floor. If you've got Lego or Duplo, there's some great items that you can get. They're like a big parachute. They sit on there and they play with their Lego or their Duplo, and at the end of that it just comes all up into a bag, and they can then hang the bag on a hook that you've got in their room. And that way they can still keep things together. It doesn't tend to break up too much, but it is put away and you're not stepping on little bits of Lego. So teaching them those things of being able to pack up, you might think is not a really big thing, but it's a really essential skill, and it's a life skill for the kids. Just like teaching them how to cut up cucumbers, or being able to cut up some soft potatoes, being able to do stirring and making cakes. Those sorts of things are life skills for the kids. Cleaning, mopping, sweeping, but packing, that really starts with packing up their own toys and putting away their clothes as well. So these social sort of niceties that we have really helps us to make sure that we have a healthy environment to live in and to play in. Now, not only all these things that we've been talking about really helps us to develop friendships. Now, I spoke just before that relationships are built on common experiences. So what we're looking at is to be able to give our kids those common experiences with other children, so that they can develop those friendships and can learn how they should talk to a friend, how to be kind to people, what it feels like for other people to be kind to us, and to accept that kindness, because sometimes accepting kindness and accepting things from other people is a really tricky and hard thing to do. All those emotions that they feel with this is really important that we help them name the emotions and really understand where those emotions come from and what they actually mean. Thanks for watching the social unit. We've covered so many things during this unit. It's worthwhile going back and re-watching little sections just to give you some ideas on what are some of the great learnings that you've found out during this course. There's some handouts at the end of the course, so if you'd like to have a look at those and download those, that gives you a good really overview of what we've been going over. Try and apply only one thing at a time, and you'll find that it's much easier than trying to apply all this knowledge to you. Look forward to seeing you in the next unit. Bye.
This video was produced by Imagination Pty Ltd for Life Unravelled. All advice and information given during this course is designed for general use only. If you have any concerns for your child, please seek professional advice as soon as possible. For terms and conditions, please see website www.lifeunravelled.com.au.